Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is Twit.
Bandwidth for All About Android is provided by CacheFly at CacheFly.com.
This episode of All About Android is brought to you by lynda.com. Lynda.com is an easy and affordable way to help you learn. Instantly stream thousands of courses created by experts on business, software, web development, graphic design, and more. For a free trial, visit lynda.com/allaboutandroid. That's lynda.com/allaboutandroid. And by Citrix Go-to-Assist, offering a secure, cloud-based solution for IT and customer support professionals to provide live and unattended remote support to their employees and customers working from any computer or mobile device. For a 30-day free trial, visit gotoassist.com. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of All About Android, episode 184, recorded on Tuesday, October 20th, 2014. We're your weekly source for the latest news, hardware, and apps for the Android faithful. I'm Jason Howell.
I'm Ron Richards.
I'm Gina Trapani.
Whew, man, what a week.
What a week indeed.
This is kind of the week that we wait for, right?
This is exciting.
Well,
this is like
another one of the weeks that we wait for.
There's maybe 4 or 5 weeks through the year, you know, the Google I/O.
Pre and post,
you know, Mobile World Congress, maybe, you know, pre and post, the hardware stuff. But doesn't get better than this.
That's true.
Yeah, this is the best.
Yeah,
this is the best.
Been looking forward to it. We had a hunch last week that the day after the episode things were going to happen, and it got real.
Yeah,
we got real.
But yeah.
And we are super psyched to welcome back to the show Kevin Grant, lead Android design engineer at Tumblr. How's it going, sir?
Hey guys. Thanks for having me back.
Absolutely.
My favorite Android podcast.
Aw, shucks.
And you picked a great week to join us, that's for sure.
Yeah. Particularly because everything is so design focused. So you're the perfect person to come on for this episode. So thank you for coming with us today.
Yeah, thanks
really
for having
appreciate
me.
it.
I'm ready.
Excellent. I think we're all ready. We've got a lot to discuss. New Nexus devices, Lollipop in its entirety. We've got even more material design, Google apps.
Are we going to find out how many licks it takes to get to the center of a lollipop?
I don't know. You're not going to lick my phone, are you? Because that would be kind of weird.
A very dated candy commercial reference that I just made.
Oh, believe me, I know.
All the 40-somethings in the audience are just started laughing.
Oh, man, you really appeal to the dad crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
listen, Saturday morning
cartoons.
cartoons.
All week to make that joke.
Yes.
Saturday morning cartoons, 1983. I'm all over it. It's
a 1, a 2, a 3. But before we get to the news, what do you say we do a little breaking news?
Lollipop, a lollipop. Nice.
I already missed the Kit Kat breaking news.
Yeah,
though.
the Kit Kat one was good.
It was good, but Lollipop is well done.
This is going to grow on you.
Yeah. The karaoke lyrics at the bottom really do help, too.
I was like, maybe there's a different version without the... Yeah,
but I love the 50s look. That's great. Let's see it again, Bryan.
Lollipop, a lollipop.
Dramatic pause.
Yes, dramatic pause added for emphasis.
What is the breaking news, Jason?
Right before the show went to air, Android Wear getting an update that provides offline music playback support for your Android Wear device to connect to like a Bluetooth headset, stream music via Bluetooth, and then also support for GPS, although there really aren't any Android Wear watches right now that support GPS. Some coming down the pipeline very soon, but nothing, your Gwatch isn't going to support it quite yet.
My Gwatch isn't supporting much right now, considering that it won't connect to my phone.
No, that's right.
Right now, I have a glorified watch on my wrist and a pedometer.
Does it still tell time at least?
It still tells time,
okay.
and it's still it's counting the steps. But for some reason, maybe like 4 minutes at best stays connected to my phone.
That is
so. I'm working on that.
That's not usability.
Yeah,
right there.
I'm working on it. I'm wondering if like maybe Facer had an update that screwed it up or something like that. Like so, I'm gonna factory reset and all that sort of stuff. So
that's the way to go.
But I would be very excited for offline music. That'd be very cool. So,
Kevin, are you in the Wear world at this point? Do you have a watch that you wear?
Yeah, my Gwatch is also dead right now.
Oh.
I was developing on it over the weekend, but yeah, I'm using the G Watch primarily. I gave my Moto 360 away to a colleague. because I wasn't into it.
Interesting.
I don't like how the screen turns off. Makes me just feel like I'm wearing a big black bracelet. The watch, it's on all the time.
Interesting.
That's what I'm into.
So it's on for you and it's on for others, basically.
Exactly.
Right. See, it doesn't. That just totally does not bother me for whatever reason. But I mean, that's right. That's the point. Everybody can find something that appeals to them. So.
Well, I wanted Moto 360. It's just now it's inventory and money and all that stuff. Like because Google Play, they're sold out, and go to Best Buy, but I spend money on some other things right now. So
yeah, there's plenty to spend our money on here in a couple of weeks.
Not everyone got it for free. As I try to make Jason feel bad.
I'm gonna go away now. You guys do the show.
All right,
Sour grape.
Let's get
Did
down.
you finally get your 360 from IO? My buddy just got his.
Just?
Yeah, just like last week.
Wow.
That took a long time.
We've had these for a while.
Yeah.
I know.
Why did that take so long? That's so weird.
I think inventory reasons. I got mine probably the same time as you.
Yeah.
You all, but he definitely got his last week. And I think there's a lot of people who just got a new round recently.
Man, I hadn't heard about that. That's crazy. Yeah. I happen to really like it.
Let's dive into the candy center of this lollipop with the news.
Let's do it.
This just in, Ron will continue to make crummy jokes. Stay tuned for Android news.
Oh, this show just evolves.
This is fantastic.
Evolves or devolves. I'm not really quite sure, but I love it either way.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
I love it both ways.
All right, so as Jason mentioned, the day after last week's show, last Wednesday, big, huge media event. Somebody press publish on Blogger.
Yep.
And Google posted a blog post announcing Android, be together, not the same. And with that, Android 5.0 or L, or now as it was dubbed Lollipop, as the statue was planted in front of the Google campus. And kind of, I mean, I don't know if you saw that statue, but it's just an Android holding a lollipop. It was kind of like, I wonder why they didn't choose to make a big old lollipop like they did.
Like a really huge lollipop with Android ears or something.
Yeah, well, yeah. Instead of an Android holding a lollipop. I don't know. Do we have a photo of that, Bryan? Don't we? Yeah. I thought we'd see.
You were underwhelmed.
What was funny was that did we ever find out that distraction with the statue maker guy dropping all those licorice hints?
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? That was total misdirection.
He could safely do it because that wasn't the version, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. So, anyway, there it is.
See, I like that.
You like that?
I like it too. I don't think there was another way to do it, Ron, that wouldn't be totally weird and, forced.
Yeah.
I do think it's interesting.
It's the peace sign.
Yeah, the peace sign. I like that.
That.
Yeah.
Also, it's not in the Valley of Desserts. It's like on a sidewalk.
Yeah. Are they running out of room on the Valley of Desserts?
Yeah, the Valley of Desserts or whatever it's called
now
was
the Google
pretty
campus has become a Candyland board. It's like, oh, that's over the Valley of Desserts.
It's actually just like one lawn in front of one sort of nondescript building. Like it's really it seems like when I saw the pictures, I was like, oh, Candyland, and then I got there and I was like, okay. It's just a couple of lawn ornaments. Like I don't know. It's weird. It looks bigger. I feel like in pictures.
Yeah.
But so with the announcement and rollout of Lollipop, we got a video on the blog post as well, which is kind of indicating that the marketing campaign for this is going to be big. This idea of being together and being, kind of the be together but not the same, which is kind of celebrating the diversity of Android. And we've already seen it in the wild. We got a tweet from Brad Bunton who posted on Twitter with a billboard already appearing in New York City. Which is pretty cool to see them actually spending some money there, right there. That looks like it's,
these commercials are running in primetime TV. I saw one during The Good Wife on Sunday night, and I think I was saying last week that I didn't know who these commercials were for. Were they for consumers? Were they for developers? I thought they were for developers, but Google's clearly like pushing Android as a brand on TV. This is about consumers.
Yeah.
This is the unveiling of the actual version, which was a little long. We don't have to play the whole thing, but yeah, I mean, I was hearing that there was versions of the ad playing on NFL games and everything. So Google's going.
Oh, they really played up all the guessing of the other things. Yeah. Lobster. That's funny.
Light bulb, ladybug,
ladder.
These aren't desserts. Google.
No.
Lincoln. Yeah, that's a good one.
It's kind of weird. But yeah,
Android Lincoln. I download that.
But I guess the most monumental part of the news, or the big thing, is that in addition to it being Lollipop, the developer preview for the Nexus 5 and Nexus 7 was released.
Yes, it was.
So now it's out in the wild. Have you installed it?
I do have it installed. Here, let me make sure that I don't have any notifications.
Did everybody run? Kevin, did you install it?
I did.
Yeah. Gina?
It's preview 2 actually.
Not.
Yes. So they had the preview that they released, that they unveiled at I/O,
Right.
And then they have this. And have they put out an update to the one from a couple of days ago, or this is just it? Okay. I was like, maybe I missed that one, but yeah. So this is Lollipop, and
is it noticeably? Does it feel different?
Yes.
Yeah.
It feels very smooth. What I like most are the subtle animations.
Whoa.
Like check out up there that gear like sliding into place.
Whoa.
As you open
that's
it
really
up.
nice.
Like just little cool things like that
it
I don't
feels
know,
all
like
spring-loaded.
the way it goes. Yes, exactly. See how it comes up from the little circle there? Happens really fast, so if you blink, you miss it. But just little things like that just make it kind of stand out. Yeah, and it's noticeably faster for sure.
Especially compared to the version we got at I/O, this one.
Oh yeah,
they've been working hard over the summer. Like this version is really good.
Yeah, and I wondered because the notification layout on the one from Google I/O kind of bugged me. One of the main reasons, of course, being that there was no easy way to clear all of your notifications. You had to do them one by one. Obviously, they added that in, so that's there. But just the handling of notifications, on your lock screen and here. Yeah, I mean, they did a lot of really good things. And we'll go into the settings real quick. And I mean,
very bright.
The
Wow,
most
look at the
irritating on the clear all
screen.
notifications.
What's that?
Is, the irritating part on the clear all notifications is I heard that they actually implemented that feature the week after Google I/O, but they haven't put out a new preview until Friday.
Well, we finally got it. Happily, they didn't decide for some reason no, nobody needs that or uses or doesn't. Nobody uses that.
Apparently, the ad just played during the World Series.
Yeah. See, there you go.
There you go. Thank
Google's
you, chat room.
going nutso with it. So Gina, I guess this is kind of the perfect segue into Lollipop itself. What are kind of some of the features aside from kind of what I'm showing off here? That people can expect?
I mean, there are a lot of them. I'm not really sure how we want to break this up. I mean, obviously the biggest one is just the material design redesign, which we've talked about quite a bit. But so I don't know. How do you want to do this? It looks like we split this up kind of between folks. Should we just pick our favorites?
Yeah, just go ahead and What stood out to you first of all? In kind of what you've read and anything that you've seen so far, is there anything that you're looking forward to, or
I haven't installed the preview yet because I don't have a Nexus 5. I have the OnePlus One, and my Nexus 7 is too old. I have the original Nexus 7, so I haven't used it at all. So you guys have more experience with it. I'm super excited just about the material design redesign, and coming from CyanogenMod reading through Lollipop features, it's really interesting to see kind of the stuff that feels like it was taken from Cyanogen, like lots of new quick settings. Casting the screen and locking rotate and that kind of thing. The flashlight, right? Is there a flashlight in there as well? Yep. So that's really interesting to see. I'm very excited with the notifications redesign. I think that just looks really, really nice. I know that Jason, you complained about the clearing not being there, but obviously now that's there.
Yeah. So
now is this on your daily driver? So you're all in a Lollipop at this point? Like this is close enough to almost release? Do you think to be
is it stable? Like should I do it?
Super stable.
So you think I should do it?
Yeah, super stable. My only complaint has been with, and I don't know if it's this particular Nexus 5 or maybe I flashed the radios wrong or whatever, but my network connectivity hasn't been as stable as I've been used to. But it hasn't been a deal breaker. It hasn't been the kind of thing that would move me off. It's just been a minor irritation. For the most part, I would consider it super stable. What about you, Kevin?
Yeah, I made the plunge. I'm full on my daily driver. I haven't had any issues. Maybe like Play Music has force closed a few times on me, but otherwise I haven't had any issues.
Yeah, it is running ART, of course. That's kind of the new, and actually, Kevin, you put down that's one of the features that you're looking forward to. So there is a little bit of app incompatibility, like Time Hop, for example, won't open on this. So some of the developers clearly haven't gone yet and really kind of pulled the switch on it. Yeah. So some people will have to tweak that, but that's really the only app that I use regularly that I've encountered doesn't work.
Use time hop regularly?
Well, I mean, when I get an update every day, every day is pretty regular.
Every day you get something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm excited about the stuff that just makes it easier to sort of like use your phone on a daily basis. So the notifications thing, and I know this is the thing I've talked about a bunch with the with the OnePlus One, just easier ways to unlock your phone. So like with the Nexus 6, the support for you pick up your phone and it unlocks much like the Moto X, or you can double tap your screen, which I really like, instead of having to search for the on button. Or with wearables, if I pick up my phone, I don't have to enter the PIN because it knows it's me.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Of course, you can get all this stuff from third-party apps. Almost all of these features you can get from third-party apps, but it's so much better when it's just baked in, right? Because it just works.
Absolutely. I've been using this. So my phone is now password protected, right? That's kind of what I've been doing. There's the smart lock section. This is actually really cool. So trusted devices can connect via Bluetooth. What is the other method? NFC. So you can set a trusted device and say, if it connects to this, bypass my security setting. Recognize this, trusted face, also known as face unlock. But this time, they actually did it in a very awesome way.
Yeah.
So it's not the kind of thing where you turn on your phone and you look at it and it pulls up the camera and you wait for it and then maybe it works or maybe it doesn't. It's kind of a way to get you in most of the time, but you don't depend on it. If you have a PIN number, expect to use your PIN number. But what it can do is you can teach it your face, and in perfect lighting, it will just automatically, with no delay, recognize your face, and you won't have to enter your PIN number.
Oh, cool. So it's almost proactive trusted face.
It's just doing it, and if it works, it works. And if it doesn't, you enter your PIN number. That's what you expect it to do anyways.
That'd be cool if it also told you your age and your gender, like that weird Chinese phone.
Yeah, and got it wrong.
And got it wrong all the time.
Because, of course, it's not going to get it right. So why is it useful?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Am I missing something on that makes it like more secure than the other previous face lock, or is it just faster?
It's the previous face lock was just so not dependable at all, that if you really wanted to use it as a way to unlock your device, half the time you were expecting it to work and it didn't. So then it didn't get me in, so now I have to enter it in. This time it's a little bit more like it's an extra layer. When it works, it gets you in and it saves you some time. But it's not something that, at least in my experience, it's not something that you're expecting to work every single time.
But this doesn't alleviate the whole, like, you have a photo of someone and you just put it in front. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's an important thing to point out, too. I mean, that's still an issue. It has no way of detecting, your camera has no way of detecting depth and all that kind of stuff. So if it's a picture of you.
Or depth.
Depth.
Oh,
I've had such a hard time today saying words. Earlier on Tech News Today,
your camera has no way to detect death. It's like, well.
Earlier on Tech News Today, I meant to say ship, and I said the other word. So let's just say I'm having a hard time today talking.
Oh, that's okay.
So
Jason.
there we go. It happens. But yeah, so if you want to use it, you can set it up. It's not, there is a security kind of level there that you have to consider for sure. I don't know. Anything stand out to you, Ron, from what you've read and seen?
Yeah, I've just been reading the kind of the rundowns of the things, and the thing that got me all probably like more excited than I should be was the fact that they've integrated two-factor authentication on your initial login on the phone, which is the kind of thing where I installed two-factor authentication a while ago, and it always drove me crazy because when you go to set up your phone, the two-factor authentication on the phone was like the clunkiest, worse. Like there was a web view, it brought up a browser, and it was like it was like, wait a minute, this should be better because this is Google and this should be all under one roof. And now, at least from what I can tell I haven't done it yet, but from what I can tell from the screenshots and stuff like that it works the way I would expect it to work. It's integrated into the setup process and that sort of thing. But aside from that, which is just a very specific thing that you only use once, hopefully, the notification updates was the big thing. And then for me, just with Lollipop, just all the hooks to Android TV and just and we're going to talk a little more about the hardware element to it, but even within just the baked into the OS, all the various different casting and television kind of watching based functionality that really seems to be a vertical of the operating system now. It's not this kind of cool thing that can be done with it. It's actually more integrated into the mainstream of the OS. So I'm curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's baked right into the settings there.
Yeah.
One thing that I've been really liking, parents are going to like it a lot, obviously, is the profiles method.
Oh, that's perfect for you, right?
It's perfect for me, right? Because I always end up with these suddenly, 20 princess apps on my phone. I'm like, hey,
admit you like them. Admit you're into them. Admit it.
I will not admit this, Ron. So there's my daughter. When I'm about to give her the phone because she wants to pick out something to watch or whatever, I just, have her picture, and there we go.
Can't give her a nice, pretty princess background?
Well, I haven't got there. I'm going to. Believe me, I'm going to.
I vote for Frozen.
Oh, that works. See, but yeah, I mean, it's just as easy as selecting the profile, hand it to her. Then when I get it back, I just swap right back over. And it's super quick. There's also a guest mode, so you can hand it to somebody and let them use your phone.
That's really cool. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And and within guest mode, you can protect apps as well.
Yeah, I think
so I can hide my browser. I can hide my you can which is pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I mean,
someone's like, I want to look something up on your phone. They can, or just look something up online. You can search it to guest mode, and they can get in Chrome and Google something or whatever. And it's not in your stuff, and they don't see your tabs and all that stuff.
Which is great because I mean, hypothetically, someone hasn't handed me their phone to show me a picture, and I never immediately looked at every other photo in their gallery. I mean, I've never done that. But at least now this protects from it. So from people not like me.
Just in case.
Yeah. I mean, there's
battery saver mode.
Batteries, yes. There's that.
That's gonna be good. There's always the you're at the conference. It's 3:00. You're running low. You realize you need your phone to work. Later on when you're taking a cab somewhere or whatever. You don't have. There's not a plug nearby. I'm not sure exactly how this works, and I don't know if you guys have seen this yet kick in. But I assume that once your battery gets to a certain level, and it's like, hey, do you want to go into battery saver mode, which basically just shuts down everything and makes your battery go long, as long as it possibly can.
That's exactly how it does it. Kevin, have you encountered battery saver? Has it saved?
I've gotten the notification. It pops up and it said, "Oh, we're going into battery saver mode." But I was listening to music and I'm like, "Nah, I'm not going to press this right now because I don't want you to turn off my music." So I don't actually know what it will do if you say okay, but it definitely popped up a notification on my screen.
Yeah, I wonder if it would have interrupted your music playback. I'm not sure if it would have or not. I've definitely encountered it and activated it, and of course the screen ends up dimming, and I'm sure it's kind of managing your data resources in the background and everything. Your navigation bar and the top bar turn a bright red as like a signal that you're in battery saver mode, and they just stay that way persistently so that I'm running out of time, basically. But it's nice to have that baked in. Another thing I really like is it recognizes when you have a bad Wi-Fi connection, and this happens all the time for me at home.
Yeah, I read about this.
Recognizes when you have a bad Wi-Fi connection. So before, if you were on Wi-Fi and your Wi-Fi was dead, wasn't doing anything, your phone just would, try and load and it wouldn't, and then you'd eventually get the error that says, "I can't load it right now. Your internet is weird." Now it will detect that you're on bad Wi-Fi, put an exclamation point next to it in the upper corner, and then activate your mobile network. So it'll flip over automatically so that you're always connected to data in some way. And it will give you that visual readout to go like, hey, you need to check your Wi-Fi because it's not working. And that's really useful. I've used that many times because my Wi-Fi sucks at home. Because Comcast, I hate you.
Oh, whoa. Oh, it got real just now.
Whoa. It did.
Whoa, that is the face of an angry man.
I'm about to cut the cord at home talking to you, Comcast.
About to get some free HBO over there.
No, they did that last time, dang it. And it worked this time.
Do you have other options, though? I have no other options.
No, we're just going to cut it. We're going to, because you pay.
You're not going to have internet at home?
No, we're going to have it. Well, no, we're going to have internet. We're going to switch to somebody else.
Does that mean do you have options? Like, I have no other options. Like, my apartment, really? I can only have Comcast.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How that's legal, I have no idea. But
because Comcast, somehow it's legal for them.
That's because like the HBO thing, the HBO announcement, they're going to do the cord cutter app. I'm like, yeah, but I still have to pay Comcast for my internet. Darn it.
Yeah.
So one of the last big things in Lollipop that a lot of people, you could have turned on in the art runtime on 4.4, but it's on by default in Lollipop. But I hadn't noticed it in the first developer preview for L. But now in this one, the big thing is scroll performance. The Tumblr application has had less than desirable scroll performance throughout the history that I've been here. And we have all sorts of projects around how to make scroll performance better and make sure that, when you're scrolling, it's not janky. I installed this L preview on my phone this weekend, and the scroll performance is out of control. It really feels like I'm using an iPhone, and I didn't change any code at all. So I think across the board, applications are going to start getting ridiculously faster.
Wow.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this only applies to Lollipop, but we'll get there.
It's the future.
Have you noticed that with the scrolling?
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I've just noticed responsiveness as a whole.
Yeah.
Everything's super responsive. At the same time, everything's visually rich.
Yeah.
And I think in the past, the visually rich elements have come with kind of sort of baggage in,
well, I was gonna say
the
that
performance.
you never normally get both. You get, visually rich.
Right.
And I
now-
really feel like you get that now.
Wow.
And I'm trying to figure out if it's placebo, but I mean, just in my time with it, and granted, I've only had it installed 4 days now, but yes, everything feels super, super snappy. And this is on a year-old device too. And so, I hope that's something positive for less capable devices as well that are going to get it.
Yeah, if you get time to run a test or you're just curious, find a KitKat phone and find a Lollipop phone and log into a Tumblr application on both of them and just scroll down the dashboard and you'll just see it's night and day, really night and day.
And the fact that much of a change came with not a change in your code, that's really impressive.
Yeah,
I didn't
for
change
free.
anything.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Cool. Any other kind of bits before we talk about who's getting it?
I think so. Yeah, I want to know who's getting it.
You
That's
want
what I
to?
always
Yeah.
I want to know. That's what I want to know. Who's
All
getting
right. All right, Ron.
Yeah.
I will tell you, but
Am I
only
getting
because
it?
you asked.
it? Am I getting it?
Well, let's see here. We have the usual suspects, right? We have Google. Hold on, I'm pulling it up here. Google Nexus 4,
Okay.
which is awesome.
I got
That's
one of
great,
those.
right?
I got one of those at home.
4, 5,
I got one of
7,
those.
both versions of
I
the
got one of
7.
those.
So even a 2012 device is getting upgraded.
I'd be really curious to see how that's going to do because I've actually been thinking of jettisoning my 7 because it's getting really laggy. And
Yeah,
really,
a lot of people
know.
saying the same
Yeah,
thing. But I
so I
mean,
wonder if
based
it'll
on
give
what
me
we're
an-
seeing
Yeah,
here, maybe it revitalizes the device once more. And Google probably thinks that obviously thinks that it's capable.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that it probably will.
All right.
10 Android One devices, Google Play Edition devices, of course. Motorola has the EGX, both the old and the new. Droid Mini, Droid Max, Droid Ultra, getting it. HTC says sometime within the next 90 days, there's going to be updates at least to the One M7 and the One M8. Probably, I would imagine more devices than just that, but HTC hasn't said specifically. OnePlus, 90-day time frame for the update there.
Wow.
Be curious to see if that ends up being sooner than that because of all the other ways that OnePlus is trying to appeal to their core user base. Sony, all upper end Xperia Z devices. That's the Z, the original Z through the Z3, tablets, phones. The entire Xperia Z lineup is getting upgraded beginning 2015. It's a lot of devices there, and I'm sure some of their other devices will as well, but they aren't talking about those. Samsung, the only hint that Samsung's given is Galaxy Note 4 will get it. They tweeted out this picture of the Note 4 with a Lollipop background, so it's like, okay.
It's like we've got one, so we're gonna flaunt it.
And it's there. And it's their new, their
it's the new
current
device,
big hotness. So
Look at this wallpaper.
Lollipop,
we're on that board. We're on that. But they've got Samsung has so many devices, so it'll be interesting to see.
There's no way that S5 is not going to get it.
Oh yeah, of course. The S5 will get it, pretty much guaranteed. That would be criminal if the S5 did not get it.
Yeah.
It'd be great if they didn't. I mean, just to talk about,
It would be. We'd be talking about it for sure.
Exactly.
And just a general reminder: J.R. Rayfield of Computer World, repeat guest host on this show, regularly posts kind of an upgrade history for OEMs to kind of give you insight as far as like which OEMs are really good at upgrading fast, which ones are not so good and everything. So if you're wondering about a device that you want to buy or where your device might fall in, considering we don't know everything from all these OEMs, this is a good read to kind of get a sense of what they've done in the past. And, hopefully they improve upon their performance, but some OEMs are definitely better than others as far as responsible upgrades. So there you go. But, man, that's just one part of the puzzle, right?
So much.
That's just
You
Lollipop.
know what I think is really interesting about these OEM upgrades is who's going to adopt the PlayStation buttons and who's going to stick with the buttons they already have.
Yeah, that'll be interesting for sure. I mean, yeah.
Because like LG even has its own custom buttons, and Samsung also has their own icon set that they're using. So there's not a whole lot of variation you can do on circle, square, triangle.
No, really. Maybe rectangle. Maybe they can be like, well, your square is my rectangle. So as a design guy, what do you think about those navigation buttons? Were you like, really? These look like what Sony did, or do you really care?
I think it's fun. I think it's going to be really confusing if I ever have to explain what these buttons do to like my mom or my grandma. But as far as like other young tech savvy users, I think it's fine. You learn by doing.
Yeah, and particularly previous users of Android, you know, the same buttons, the same locations on the screen, they do the same things. It's just they look a little different. So a little motor muscle memory there will probably kick in as well. But all right, so much more to talk about. But let's take a break and thank our first sponsor today, and that is lynda.com. Love Lynda. Lynda makes learning easy. Lynda.com is an easy, affordable way to help you learn. You can instantly stream thousands of courses created by experts. There's software courses, web development, graphic design, all sorts of courses to choose from. Lynda.com works directly with industry experts and software companies to provide timely training. And many times that's on the same day that new versions or releases of this software hits the market. So you're always up to speed right from the get-go. All courses are produced at the highest quality, not homemade videos on YouTube. These courses are broken down into bite-sized pieces so you can learn at your own pace, learn from start to finish, or you can just find a quick answer if that's all you're looking for. Tools include searchable transcripts, playlists, certificates of course completion that you can publish to your LinkedIn profile to show off just how awesome you are. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, lynda.com has courses for all experience levels, and you can learn on the go with the lynda.com apps for Android and iOS. Excellent apps. It's one low monthly price of $25, giving you unlimited access to over 100,000 video tutorials. And premium members with an annual plan can download courses to their iPhone, iPads, Androids. Premium plan members can also download project files and practice along with the instructors. So you have those project files that they base their tutorial on. So if you want to, dive in and take a closer look at something that maybe they, spend a little bit of time on, you can do that. And you can pick it apart and put it back together. Really cool. Just tons of courses that I've watched on editing with Premiere, on setting up, good sound, my studio at home that I produce music in, kind of sound dampering on the walls and all that kind of stuff. They literally cover all of these technical things that you might want to do in production, both audio and video, and outside of that, business. It's just really impressive spread of courses. If you want to learn how to program software and applications, for Android especially, lynda.com has courses on everything: foundations of programming and simple Android development tools, all the way to building adaptive Android apps with fragments and PHP, with MySQL, essential training. They cover it all. But for any software you rely on, lynda.com can help you stay current with all software updates and learn the ins and outs to be more efficient and productive. So we've got a special offer for you, so you can access all the courses free for 7 days. Just visit lynda.com/allaboutandroid. That's lynda.com/allaboutandroid to try lynda.com free for 7 days. That is lynda.com/allaboutandroid. Check it out for yourself. Take a look at some of these videos, and you realize just the quality of these courses. You're going to love it. And we thank Lynda for their support of All About Android. All right, so the second part of this puzzle is the hardware. Let's take a look. This is the part where I imagine all of us have at least one thing that we're going, oh, that's mine. I'm going to have that one.
Pretty much, yeah.
At least one.
Zeroed in on each of us, actually.
It's true. It's true.
It's true. So in their big blog post about Lollipop, Google also announced a bunch of new Nexi, making clear that they feel like, software innovation hardware innovation has to happen hand in hand. So kind of confirming that the Nexus program isn't going anywhere. And the main device that they announced was the one that we expected, the Motorola-built Nexus 6 handset. So let's run this down. Let's run these specs down. This is a 5.96-inch quad HD display. Snapdragon 805 is the same 32-bit system on chip as the Galaxy S5. It comes 32 or 64 gigabyte storage, 13 megapixel rear-facing camera with optical image stabilizer, front-facing speaker, yay, and mic, metal trim, and it comes in soft touch back with midnight blue or cloud white. Pre-orders begin October 29th via the Play Store. The 32 gigabyte will be $650. The 64 gigabyte will be $700. Sounds kind of worth going springing for the extra 50 there. Yeah. But it will be subsidized through all U.S. carriers. One phone with all the antennas required. No word on availability outside of the U.S. just yet. And probably worth mentioning because we just ran down through Lollipop features. There are certain Lollipop features that require certain kinds of hardware. One of those features is this ambient display that I talked about a little bit. And this is the one that wakes up your device after you pick it up or you tap its screen twice. This is set up in the Nexus 6. And I think maybe the Nexus 6 only, as far as I know. I mean, this is almost identical to the 2014 Moto X's Moto display, which was formerly called Active Display. I mean, and this is a Motorola-built Nexus. This is kind of the new Moto X, basically. So I did want to mention that. This phone is giant. It's 6 inches.
It's enormous.
It's enormous. Yeah, I mean, not to be just to be clear, this thing is enormous. Yep. Oh yeah, we have this nice comparison of the 6 versus the
Note 4.
The Note 4. Yeah,
a little bit larger than the Note 4.
It's too much. It's too much.
Says Ron.
The thing is giant.
Yeah.
It is a large phone. Who's coming with me?
You going? Are you in?
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Big Hands over here? This is the phone made for you?
I'm going.
Yeah?
I'm doing it. Am I the only one on the show today that's doing it?
I'm in.
You're in?
I'm in. Absolutely.
So I understand why Jason's in. Kevin, why are you in?
You know, I used to think like a 5-inch phone was going to be too big. I used to think that a 500 square foot apartment was going to be too small. I'm pretty adaptable. I think I'm going to like it. So let's try it out. Let's give it a go.
You're the size of your apartment and the size of your phone, they're converging. Soon they will be the same device. I agree.
Mighty tempted, and the subsidy, the having it subsidized. I've been pretty adamant. We've all discussed this a bunch of times about buying unlocked phones, and popping my SIM card and not being tied to a certain carrier. But I have to say, like, I'm a little bit like, I've been with T-Mobile for a while. I could just get a subsidized Nexus 6 with T-Mobile. Like, it's very, very tempting. But I really like the 1+1, which is what I have and I'm happy with. And I've purchased more phones this year, really, than I meant to. I don't think I could do another one, but I am very tempted by this phone. But I have to say that extra. So the 1+1 is 5.5 inches. It's big. It feels big to me. I don't think I could do the 6. I think it would be prohibitively large.
That's where I net out on it. I mean, like, it's enormous, and I've seen, and that my only frame of reference has been the Note or the iPhone 6, and the iPhone 6, the big one is
the Plus.
It's laughable. It's like a joke.
Yeah, it's bigger than the 6.
The 6 Plus,
just a little bit.
Yeah. And so, like, I can't imagine, and the thing is, and you know me. I mean, Jason, you know me a long time. Mm-hmm. I'm on the front lines of the Nexus line. I've had every Nexus one from the get-go, G1, Nexus 1, Nexus, Galaxy Nexus, Nexus S. I was there. But I love the Nexus 5, and I want the updated specs. I wouldn't mind a Motorola phone. Give me a 5.5 size, or give me a 5 size. Like, why does it have to be the Note size?
Well, then I guess it's the new Moto X is the one that would be that, but then it wouldn't be Nexus. No, I think this is an interesting point in the history of Nexus, because this is the first device that I think true, like, hardcore Nexus, folk had to really ask themselves, like, do I want this? Like,
Right.
is this good? Is this for me? And I think a lot of people are saying no, specifically because of the size.
And I'll tell you that, and $650 does not part ways
And the
easily.
price.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the other side of it too, right? Like, we've long gotten used to Nexus being an affordable entry, also a reference device, has all these benefits. Now what Google is saying is we can create a flagship phone that can compete with the rest of them. You're going to have to pay more for that, but we think it's a really great phone. I have no problem with that. I can understand, though, people expecting a price-conscious device, and right now it seems like the Nexus 5 is going to continue being sold. And I mean, and the positive to that is it's lower price, probably going to get even lower at some point, you have to imagine.
Yeah.
And it's totally capable. I mean, my experience with this, with Lollipop, is super positive. So if you have an Nexus 5 and you're going to end up getting Lollipop on it very soon, I think you're going to be pretty darn happy with it. So what is this? This is the 6 Plus cutout.
This is the 6 Plus cutout. Yeah, this is
All
the
right,
iBurk.
Yeah, so this is the iPhone 6 Plus cutout, just as
And that's a half an inch smaller than the Nexus 6.
Yep.
Right, because that's 5.5 inches. The same as the One Plus One.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
It's enormous.
So that's smaller.
Yep.
That's smaller than the
So
Nexus
you're probably
6.
talking something like
it goes
out
up
to there. Yeah.
Now
Ish.
is that a 6 Plus?
That's the 6 Plus.
All right, so this is the 6 Plus, an actual 6 Plus, and I mean I don't have small hands, but I feel
yeah.
a hard time using it. I don't know, but it's probably perfect for you. And you're
Oh yeah, I could do this.
yeah.
But I also, and I think we've talked about this on the show in the past, the Huawei Ascend Mate 2 is slightly smaller or slightly larger, I can't remember, than the Moto 6.
Yeah.
And I was totally fine using that device. It took the first few times I used it was a little weird. It took a little bit of getting used to a device that big, but after a while I was like, okay, I understand why it's awesome to have a device this big. It also makes you not really miss the tablet, even more so.
Yeah.
You're like, I just don't need a tablet. I've got it both right here.
And I'm willing to reserve judgment until I see it in person, and then I get all, ooh, I want that, But right now, I think I'm sticking with the Nexus 5 and hoping that next year at some point we get a 5.5 or something, Nexus 6.1 or
I'd have a hard time believing that Google next year would come out with another one this large.
Yeah.
Or not giving an option for something smaller.
Yeah.
Because they're going to see a lot of people this year saying, I'm sticking with the 5. And then by that point, it's going to be 2 years. And, most people a lot of people expect to upgrade on a 2-year basis. A decent amount of people, probably because of the subsidy kind of thing that where they do that automatically. But so yes, I will be getting a Nexus 6. Kevin will be getting a Nexus 6, and we'll show it off on the show, of course, in a couple of weeks.
I look forward to seeing it. I'm happy to play with a phone that you spent money on.
Excellent. I can't wait to see. I'm expecting a holy cow. Okay, so the next device that was shown off is the HTC Nexus 9. This is an 8.9-inch QVGA screen, 2048 by 1536 display. It's a 4:3 screen ratio, so it's no longer 16:9. It's a 4:3, which I'm actually fine. I'm totally fine with. I'm kind of excited about that. 2.3 gigahertz quad-core NVIDIA Tegra K1 chipset. First Nexus device with a 64-bit processor. So this will be able to right away, take advantage of the 64-bit capabilities of Android L, Lollipop. HTC boom sound speaker technology built in. Nice. You can pre-order via Play, Amazon, and others. I pre-ordered on Amazon the day that you could. So I'll be getting the 32 gig version. That's $479. There's also a 16 gig version for $399, and then a 32 gig with LTE for $599.
All less than that phone. Just saying.
Yeah. Well, and that's
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
commonly true though,
put it in
right?
Put it in perspective. Yeah, no, true. Yeah, but I mean, I'm at this point, I'm so weaned on $299 or $350 for the phone. So yeah.
That's changing, Ron.
Oh,
the world is changing. Also releasing a keyboard that attaches magnetically, as
we saw that a couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Seen and heard about, kind of similar to like the Surface kind of approach, taking the tablet, making it a laptop, that sort of thing.
But will they have the annoying commercials with the dance people doing the keyboard, the turning, and all that stuff? Yeah, the robot guy.
If they do, it'll be Androidify characters.
Yeah, exactly. This is a sexy tablet. It weighs less than a pound.
It really is.
That's a nice device.
Yeah, Brian, if you play a little bit of that video that's in there, you kind of get a sense for just how, and of course they go for the super slow pans and everything. This is like a hands-on video with the Nexus 9 that somehow hit YouTube like within minutes of the actual device being announced. But it's a pretty nice, sleek looking tablet. And of course it's running Lollipop. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. Anyone else order this one?
We ordered one for the office, but I'm getting the 6-inch phone. I don't need a tablet.
Right.
Yeah, right. I don't know. I'm tempted by this one. Because like I said, I think I'll install a Lollipop on my 7, see how that runs, and because the thing is, as much as I've enjoyed the 7, it's always been on the little small side. You know, it feels more like a phone these days.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's only 1 inch. Yeah, there's only 1 inch that separates that from being a phone.
If I wanted a true tablet, it looks like this 8.9 would be the way to go. But yeah, it's curious. Well,
all right, we'll be getting that as well.
So then the last device they announced, which is the one that I'm excited about because I'm the sucker, and you throw the letters T and V after anything, and I'm lining up at the door. But so the Nexus Player got announced, which is something that we also knew was coming. But it's the first Google's first Android TV device. The device is actually made by Asus, which is pretty cool. Different look than the developer device that you got at Google I/O. This is more of it's a 4.7 inch in diameter hockey puck design. It's got a remote control that's very similar to the Kindle Fire TV or whatever the wording on that is. Kindle TV Fire TV. Fire TV. Yeah. But it's got a voice search off of the remote, so you just tell the remote to search Breaking Bad, and it will find it for you. And the device itself is running a 1.0 gigahertz quad-core Intel Atom chip with 8 gigabytes of storage. It's 802.11 AC capable. Nice. It's got the game controller support, and it only sells for $99, and that game controller is only $39. So for less than $150, you can have this in your living room, running Android TV, playing games, doing the whole thing. I'm totally in.
Of course.
I'm totally in.
Yeah.
Yep. Hands down.
Bye-bye Google TV, I guess. You're still using Google TV, right?
Well, well, actually, what I've done now is I've evolved my home theater system so that I'm actually primarily Chromecast. Which so there's this bye-bye Chromecast.
It's really great.
Yeah. And I am using the Google TV, but it's a Blu-ray player at this point because I have the Sony integrated Blu-ray player. So that's all. Literally all I do is watch Blu-ray movies on it, and everything else is Chromecast, Plex through Chromecast. Run it. That's how I watch everything else. So I assume I can install Plex and run this on this device.
Yep.
And I can unplug that $35 dongle and just throw it in my bag and not use it when I go on business trips like I used to. And
or give it to your parents.
Yeah, well, that might be. That's a loaded weapon.
Oh, okay, all right.
But yeah, this is cool. I'm excited for it. I was
so why does someone who have the Chromecast get this? This is the thing that I'm sort of. I mean, I know this is cast enabled, right? So you can, anything you can cast to your Chromecast now, you can cast to the Nexus Player. Is this to have like a nicer interface on your TV, which the Chromecast really doesn't offer? Or kind of sort of does. It's basically a unified search box on your TV. I'm sort of like after Google TV and the Q, I'm sort of very skeptical about it. I love the Chromecast. It is my primary thing. Since I moved to New York, I didn't plug anything else into my TV. I'm just all Chromecast at this point. But I'm wondering, but I'm wondering, well, why would I get this versus the Chromecast?
I think now after because I was resisting the Chromecast for a while. Remember, I bought it and I just didn't use it and I didn't get it and all that sort of stuff. And then ever since committing to it and using it, it requires a certain amount of savvy knowledge that I think we all have that we take for granted, and that's why I scoffed when you said give the Chromecast to my parents. I don't think that the idea of having your phone and saying cast it to this, like, that's a leap that I think that a large number of people it's difficult for. And so I think for a certain audience, having a device that they plug in their TV and having a UI and having a menu system and doing the voice search and stuff like that is the bridge for that, for that audience. And maybe this is what it's for. And then on top of that, there's the gaming element.
For that audience, Android TV is going to be a hard sell, because there are already so many other things that they've heard of and are using or whatever. For folks like you and I who are very, you know, for all of us here especially, and probably watching the show, that are okay with kind of the capabilities of Chromecast and what it takes to cast to the screen, everything like that. This is an upgrade for the lean back experience. This is an upgrade for gaming. Gaming's a big part of this, I think. This is basically spend $60 more than a Chromecast and get a console in your living room, right? And a better Android console than, say, the Ouya or whatever, all these other ones that have tried to do it but didn't have the support that Google is or the muscle, the marketing muscle and the capability behind making it a pretty seamless experience. I know that gaming on the ADT1, which is the developer version of this that I got at I/O, is one of my favorite parts about that. And that I think is a big part of this for sure. Also, I mean, at least at my house, we don't have 802.11 AC. So using my Chromecast wirelessly to do Plex from the other room in the computer isn't necessarily like something that I want to do because it's going to be unstable for me. So this brings direct Ethernet capability into Chromecast, and that's kind of nice.
Which is what I wish Chromecast had. Even though I don't have 8211 AC, but I've got 8211N. Or whatever, and I'm in a small San Francisco apartment, but even then I pick up some lag, and I wish that the scrolling, jumping in time was instantaneous.
Instantaneous. What do you think, Kevin? Is this something that you're looking forward to, or are you going to pass on the Nexus Player? Are you happy with what you've seen about Android TV?
It's funny, actually. The last time I was on the podcast, we had talked about these rumors of the Android TV and about like the partnerships that would be required to make it replace it. Anyway, I asked the other developers on the Android team what they thought, because in preparation for the show, and unanimously everybody was really excited about installing Super Nintendo emulator on it.
Yes, exactly.
And then, because it's the best way to play emulator games. But otherwise, aside from that, I'm really excited for not having to use my phone to control the Chromecast. I guess that's the thing. I can control it, but I have the same problem in my apartment where it loses connectivity to the Chromecast. And if like I'm watching Netflix, my phone goes to sleep for too long and it loses that connection. So that I have to stop the movie so that I have to like restart my, the Netflix app, which pauses the movie. And I'm just happy to have it all contained in one system.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree, Kevin. I think Chromecast is cool, and now I get it. I'm converted. I'm on board, but it's not perfect. Like I've had that same problem where I'm watching something on Plex. I'm running Plex through my phone, casting, and I get a text message, and then I got to go look something up, and then next thing I know, the Plex has lost the connection to Chromecast. Yet it's still playing the video. I can't stop it until I start the app again, and then disconnect, and then it takes forever to resync and get to where I resume, and it's like oh, come on, Or like the other night when randomly Plex just would not work. Like it would load, it would connect to Chromecast, and every time I'd play a video, it'd go, I'd get the Chromecast, oops, something went wrong, brain freeze, and I'd restart both of them, and then the next day it just worked magically again. So
I should correct myself because a few folks in the chat room are correcting something that I said. There is no Ethernet on this. I assumed there was because the ADT1 has one, and that's one thing I actually really like about it, because then it's like Chromecast with Ethernet that kind of alleviates some of those issues. But apparently the Nexus Player does not, and I missed that. My apologies. So that's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, that is.
So there you go.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, and it's a set-top box.
Is that a generational thing that like whenever I prefer
like
Ethernet.
We're locked into Ethernet.
Like I feel that's so you get the most latency.
Probably is a little bit because nowadays it's wireless everything you have.
I hate wireless. I hate it. I don't know why.
I genuinely have like a hard time sometimes finding a place to do this show because I need a wired connection. Like I'm always like, no, I need the conference room where the port works. I swear. But just everything's wireless now, right? But it's way more stable from Skype to anything streaming like that. It's way better.
I'm bummed there's no Ethernet. Sorry, all you people who were just about to email me, and I got that out before you could. Ha ha. Okay, so lots of awesome hardware. We're gonna have it all on the show at some point.
I haven't ordered it yet, but they're out of stock.
And it's out of stock right now. I went to order it
because there was that
too.
problem when it went on sale, but then it didn't pass FCC.
Yep.
And so then I'm like, all right, well that's gonna take forever, and then it came back up and sold out. So I'll get one eventually. It'll be fine.
We'll
Google,
get there
if you're watching. Saying Google PR.
I don't know what you're just saying, Ron.
Oh, nudge, nudge.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm like
talk
a
to
born
Ron.
like the amount of evangelism I've done for Google and their TV platforms over the past 5 years.
It's true.
The amount I've gotten back in, not that I've ever asked for anything in return. I'm just saying, maybe Google. You
might have had a better chance if you had jumped on the Nexus 6 bandwagon with the rest of us.
Yeah, that's right. You have a point there. Yeah, I know.
It's true. Your faith is waning a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. It's just so big. Why do you? You don't need the Nexus TV. You can just put your phone up on the front of the TV, and it's big enough. It's like
just right out in front of you, and it's the same size as the screen would look all the way across the room. So you're right. Let's take a break before we get to apps and thank our other sponsor of today's episode, that is Citrix. Go to Assist. Managing your company's IT support needs can be challenging, especially when you have remote or even mobile employees. You have to handle urgent tech support requests. You have to quickly, you want to maintain that productivity any way you can, making sure your network security is never compromised. That's why I highly recommend Citrix Go to Assist. They're the #1 global market leader in remote support. It's easy to use. It's a cloud-based remote support solution. And Citrix Go to Assist allows you and your team to solve those problems that emerge faster than ever. With Go to Assist remote support, you can provide live and unattended remote support to any computer or mobile device. You can screen share with employees to diagnose and fix their support problems faster and more effectively. And use Go to Assist apps to deliver support anytime, anywhere, from your iPhone, your iPad, your Android device, whatever you got. Go to Assist is easy to use and sets up in less than a minute. Whether you're supporting one coworker, 10 employees, or even 1,000, a whole gaggle of workers, Go to Assist can help you. If you work in IT, I want you to try Go to Assist for yourself. Sign up today for a 30-day free trial. No contract, no credit card needed. Visit gotoassist.com and click on the Try It Free button. Now, check it out on the site. There's a Try It Free button up at the top there. After your free trial, if you purchase Go to Assist before October 31st, use the promo code GoToAssist3030. That's GoToAssist3030 to receive 30% off the standard monthly rate. That's GoToAssist3030 is the promo code at gotoassist.com. And we thank Citrix and Go to Assist for their continued support of All About Android and the Twit Network. Thank you, guys. All right, it's time to take a look at some apps.
Chat room is yelling at me that the Moto 360 is back in stock in the Play Store, and sure enough, it is.
Oh no, you have to make a decision right.
Do it. Peer pressure.
What do you do?
The holidays are coming.
It'll make you feel good.
You're gonna be disappointed.
All the kids are doing it these days. All the cool kids are doing it.
I know. I'll think about it.
All right.
Stone leather. They added another color.
Oh, Tony has Tony has that one, I believe.
I want the black one.
Yeah. So let's see here. A couple of apps to talk about. These are all kind of related as well. Gmail 5.0 hasn't rolled out yet. Probably will come out and unleash itself right around the time that Lollipop hits at the beginning of next month. But this is interesting. Gmail, the app, will soon be able to handle your IMAP, your POP, your Exchange, your Outlook, your Yahoo, your blah, blah, blah.
Top 3? Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, see, you're in.
I can use my personal
email.
You're
in like Flynn.
Fantastic.
Yep. Gmail, the app, is going to support all of these things. So basically, the other email application that appeared abandoned in AOSP is being replaced by Gmail's app. So there you go.
Which is the kind of thing that I'm surprised it took this long to do, because like when I read this and thought about it, like literally for years now, I use the Gmail app with my personal Gmail and my work email, and then I've had a parade of other email clients for my personal email, which we all know is served off of POP3. So like. Laugh it up, Gina. I know you find it hysterical. I know. It's so much work to transition it. It's just anyway. Yeah. But
I hear you. So the Gmail client is going to be an IMAP, POP, Yahoo, Outlook, whatever client. But does that mean that it's going open source and it's going to be the new client in AOSP, or?
That's a really good question. I don't know.
I doubt it. I doubt it because it's the official Gmail app. But But yeah, you can. So basically, they're saying you don't have to use any other POP3 IMAP client. We want you in Gmail, regardless of whether you actually use Gmail for your mail.
Which is cool.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, which is cool because previously I could have forwarded my POP3 mail to my Gmail account, but that's just all these hoops. You know, and it's funny because it makes the, you know, as we review apps of the arena, I'm always on the lookout for email apps, and Boxer came out, and I was raving about Mailbox and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you know, my work emails in Gmail, we want everything just in one spot. That's not too bad. You know, like I would use it. So.
Yeah, and you know, I'm just now looking at the Lollipop build. We represent the Lollipop build.
Wait, time check. It just took an hour for that to happen. I don't know whether we deserve an award or we failed.
Yeah, that could deserve a sad trombone. But anyway, so the email client. Thank you, Bryan. Appreciate that.
Really quick on the draw.
That's okay. I understand how difficult it is. So this is the email client, and it has been materially designed as well. So there you go.
Oh, this is the vanilla email client. This is Gmail. Oh, okay. So that has not been abandoned. No, that's good. That's
okay.
good.
So basically, they're giving you an option, which is something that they're giving you. We might as well do yours next, Gina. So why don't you do yours next? Because that kind of ties in with what we're talking about right here. In fact.
Yep.
Yeah, it sure does. So we've seen in screenshots of Lollipop that there's a new messaging icon, and it's true. Google is releasing a messaging app. It's not just Hangouts, right? So for a while it was like, hey, Hangouts is going to be everything. In Lollipop, there will be a messaging app which is for SMS and MMS, and that will exist in Lollipop alongside Hangouts, which you can use for those things as well as other things.
So I'm so confused now. What am I supposed to use?
Options, Ron. So they took away your option, then they gave it back.
Too many options in Lollipop. Why did you do that? Why did you collapse everything in Hangouts and then give me a new messaging app?
Yeah, so basically what they're doing is, so there's been the complaint for a while that Google has abandoned their AOSP apps, and obviously with the new material design approach, as well as the need for an open source client for these things, Google went ahead and updated them. Now you have the choice, right? Do you want everything to be folded into Hangouts? Great, you can. If you don't, then here's a material design update to the original messaging app. Same for email, and that's kind of what ties these two together. And from what that seems is you can use the email app if you want, or you can use Gmail's stylish approach. And so you have two different solutions.
My neck hurts from getting jerked around so much.
Sorry.
This is just ridiculous.
What do you think?
There's a lot of ecosystem that's sort of tied in with making you use Hangouts and Gmail client for these things. And it's nice to have these options because they're almost keeping themselves in check. Because if people are starting to prefer the standalone text message client over the Hangouts text client, then they know that they're probably doing something wrong and that they could probably improve. I think it's a move in the right direction. I don't think removing choice from people is ever the right answer.
Mm-hmm. Right, and forcing people to use the Hangouts client, as you can attest to, Ron.
Which now I'm using, ironically.
Upset a lot of people.
Now I'm
I know
using
you
it.
finally switched over after Textra and all the other options.
I tried everything. I tried, oh my God, Textra and Hello and the other one that I was Simple Text or Simply Text or whatever. And now I'm on Hangouts, although, mind you, I immediately log out of my Gmail account so that nobody can get me on chat. And so it's just SMS. So I'll probably switch to this Messenger thing because I don't want Hangouts. But it's just, they had me. I don't understand. It's so confusing. But it looks nice.
A lot of people really didn't like the folded in approach.
Yeah.
Do
you think that's why?
I'm sure that's part of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a really good point, right? Like, they're not going to open source the Hangouts app. Yeah. They're not going to open source the Gmail app.
Right.
And if AOSP is a true open source option, then they have to give you a way to check your email at the very least, and also to get messages on your phone because it's a phone operating system. So so this makes sense.
There's a bit of a learning curve to using Hangouts too. Like the newest update, I don't find completely intuitive all the decisions they made. And if they're launching these phones in developing countries to people who have just standard text messaging clients, the Hangouts app is going to look completely foreign and they're just not going to want it. So I think it's good to have like a standard baseline text messaging app that people are used to.
Yeah, very good point.
I just want my perfect SMS messaging app, and I still haven't been able to find it. I want it to look cool and work, and
whatever version T is, you'll finally get there.
Oh, okay. So that's going to be
little ways down. MNOPQRST.
Yeah,
like seven versions away.
I'm trying to think of a dessert or a candy that starts with T. Tiramisu. Oh yeah, sure. When
that's
tiramisu
easy.
comes
Yeah,
out, it's
yeah.
gonna be great.
Tiramisu,
It's gonna be
it'll
wonderful.
great.
Oh man, I can't wait for tiramisu.
You know it's going to be tiramisu, by the way.
Yeah.
Can we right now, on October 21st, 2014, call it that Android version T is going to be tiramisu?
I think you're right.
All right, put it on the YouTube for posterity.
So yeah, someone hold on to this.
Brian, can we get a date?
And then 5 years from now, when we get to tiramisu, somebody remember.
October 21st, 2014, tiramisu.
Okay,
if we're still doing the show, then tiramisu.
All right.
You have to get through Q first. There's going to be a lot of
Quisp.
letters on the way.
What?
Is it Quisp? Is that a cereal? That's a cereal, right?
I have
Quisp.
no idea. Quisp?
Just quick.
Quick.
milk.
Oh, quick.
Ooh.
No, Quisp is a
Start
cereal.
talking to Nestle now.
That would be
QUISP,
good.
right?
I don't.
I'm not
I've
crazy.
never heard of Quisp.
Chat
But
room,
I
come
hadn't
on.
heard of Lion Bar either. So
Lion bars are great.
yeah, see, that's what I hear.
Really good. Yeah, see, Quisp. It's a cereal.
Quisp. Okay, but they don't do versions on cereals.
No.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But still. Anyway.
Anyways.
So moving on. Also, right in my wheelhouse, the Google Play Music, the service that I subscribe to and love. Not only did the app get a sexy little material design upgrade that Jason can show us on the phone, but we finally got the integration of Songza, which Google acquired earlier this year. Actually, if you go to Google Play on the web, I noticed this today. I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Now, using Songza's technology, they can, the Listen Now tab has playlists tailored for different times of the day to moods and routines. So, and that's also on the new version of the app. So now you can say, right now, currently on Jason's phone, it says it's Tuesday evening. Do you want music for driving, for unwinding? And it's pretty cool, actually. I like the...
Yeah, what do we want music for? Do we want it for looking fresh in the 90s?
Oh,
or...
let's look fresh in the 90s. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do
looking
it.
fresh in the 90s.
Yeah, the cargo shorts and puka shells.
90 frat favorites.
Cardigans and
Fred
ringer
Perry's
tees.
and Parkas, 90s Britpop. Thank you.
Okay, see, we've got there. Now we're Shoegazer 101, Britpop. This is awesome.
This is really cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
I have been anti-Google Play's radio function, and now I might give it a shot on the drive home tonight. Except I don't have L. Oh, man.
But you couldn't get this version anyway. I tried to download it before the show.
Oh, really?
Hmm?
Oh,
yeah, I had to install the APK
yeah.
in order to do it. But there we go.
Nice. Some Swerve Driver. I used to love
All right.
Swerve Driver back in the day.
And so, was anyone here a user of Songza beforehand? Neither was I.
Yeah.
I had to kind of read up on it, on exactly what it did. But yeah, I like that. More and more when, and I just attributed it to getting older and not being, hip with the latest trends in music. But more and more when I fire up Play Music, I don't want to have to think about this thing that I want to listen to. I just want to listen to something. And this is great because instead of using I'm Feeling Lucky and really taking a risk, I can go in here and find a playlist that's curated by somebody that knows a lot more than I do about music in this day and age, and listen to their requests.
This is almost, it almost reminds me not as quirky as what Beats Music was doing with their playlists, but like this idea of tying the playlist to mood, so driving, but then within there, you're narrowing down by genre and then giving you playlists. I think that's interesting. It's giving you more choice even within that. So, and
you can see some of the material design kind of splashes in here as well.
Look at that, up and down.
Jason, did you customize this at all? I noticed that there was one that was spending time with your
family.
and like there was a couple of toddler.
Spending time with your family.
Favorites? Like,
no, I didn't.
Spending time with your family.
I didn't customize this, although I do think that it tracks your listening habits, and we do. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's really interesting because so I'm not.
And it will surface certain things that might appeal more to you. You're not getting it.
I'm not getting. So I'm getting.
You don't listen to toddler music.
So
what's going on here, Ron?
This
is my laptop.
Toddler tunes like all the time at home. So I was just curious if that's okay. Go ahead, Ron.
So what I'm getting is I'm getting brand new music, exploring cool sounds, working out, unwinding, having friends over, and eating dinner. So that's kind of creepy how much Google knows me, because that's pretty much.
Look, this is the kind of awesomeness you're missing out on, Ron.
Yeah, and what song is that?
I don't know. I just hit play. This Isn't it amazing? It's a Nick Jr. thing, apparently. Yeah, see? So there you go.
And meanwhile, I chose eating dinner and cool new music, and I got sophisticated indie, minimalist indie pop evening.
I gotta say, this is a pretty cool feature.
We're gonna go for.
Holy crap! I'm playing music. No, that's it. I gotta hang up, you guys. I got music to listen to.
This is great too.
Yeah.
This is
the web interface.
Iron and Wine, Yola Tango, the XX, Bell and Sebastian, Churches, like.
Because I think it's.
Although, there it is. You can't do it. This is 2 songs by the same artist in a row. That's a playlist no-no.
That is true.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm having a hard time finding this though. So if you go to music for any occasion, I'm trying to just find it. This is in the web interface.
I was in the web interface. Yeah. It's just, It's just straight up.
Listen. What is it? Listen now. Listen now tab. But I haven't looked at it through the web interface. But very cool stuff though, man. The more I play around with that and look at it, I like it.
Yeah.
That is great. So that's Songza integration coming to a Play Music app near you. And before we get to the arena, let's do a quick blast through some of the other news that had nothing to do with the announcement. Let's see if I can do this real fast. And, it's just a couple of things here. Google's releasing an update to Google Play Games that will allow players in the same meet space to compete against each other in a multiplayer session. That's pretty cool. Hiroshi Lockheimer, Google's VP of Engineering for Android, is now also commanding the Chrome engineering team. More Android Chrome singularity to come? ? OnePlus One pre-orders begin officially on October 27th, says the company. No invite required, but supply may still be limited, so get there early. And finally, Play Store now lets you filter your search results to only those apps with 4 stars or more, making discovery of great apps that much easier. There you go.
That's a big one.
That's a
big one for developers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you have 4 or more stars, you're pretty happy. I think you're probably pretty happy anyways. And
if you have less than 4 stars, you basically just give up.
Yeah,
That's the part that I'm concerned about.
Right. Yeah, exactly. They become.
There might be a lot more of this gaming of the system where they pop up that fake dialogue that says, "Oh, do you give us 5 stars?" And then if you press yes, then they prompt you to the App Store, and if you press no, they're like, "Okay, thanks anyway."
All right. Well, back to using the app then. Yeah, exactly. Right. Any thoughts on this other stuff? The OnePlus One finally pre-orders are opening up, so that's good. Don't need an invite. Any other thoughts? No. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's good. I feel like the OnePlus hype has kind of died down a little bit, but I don't know. It seems like recently it's been like people couldn't give their invites away, but maybe I don't know. Maybe that's not true. It also seems like people were asking. Yeah,
it does seem like enough invites were out there that were meeting demand there for a while. But now that it's not a game that people have to play, I'm sure they'll do good with the pre-orders. But it does sound like still supply is limited. So if you're actually really interested, definitely tune right in on the 27th to get your pre-order in. Because I
had a colleague ask me about this today, and specifically around. Will the OnePlus One get Lollipop? And I guess the OnePlus One is running CyanogenMod, and I haven't really heard a lot about CyanogenMod recently, but I'm not really seeking it out. Do you guys have any notion of how well they're doing or what they're up to?
CyanogenMod is a company?
Yeah, like if they're pushing updates or
as far as they said within 90 days for the OnePlus for Lollipop. Yeah. Which is kind of amazing because they have to rebase Cyanogen on top of Lollipop, take out whatever features are dupes, and there are a few. I mean, there's work there. So, but part of the promise of the OnePlus is that you get quick updates. And OnePlus is coordinating with CyanogenMod, like the company. So CyanogenMod itself will also be updated. I don't think that, right? I mean, that won't be that's not just a OnePlus thing.
Right.
So, I mean, these guys are good. They're fast. They know what they're doing. But 90 days is pretty. I mean, that's before just after the New Year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, shortly after the New Year.
I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess they're going to try and get it sooner than that too. Like some companies are going to say, would say 90 days, and you better believe they're coming in at 90 or maybe not a little bit later. I have a feeling the OnePlus folks are probably going to try and eke that as closer as possible because I think their user base kind of demands that, you know what I mean, or expects that. So, yeah, Cool stuff there. All right, man, we've talked about a lot of stuff already.
A lot of stuff. We didn't even get to. I wanted to ask Kevin about material design.
Yes,
and
well,
Tumblr.
no, that's a really good question. So material design, just just right off the top, how do you feel about the material design approach to Android? Do you think it's a good move for Google? Are you liking what you see? What do you think?
Oh yeah, there's no arguing that it's the best version of Android we've had, and it's the best set of design guidelines we've ever had, and it's the best set of tools that we've ever had, and it's borderline the best set of tools that exists for app developers across the board, across any platform. So I'm really happy with the new tools that are available. It's unfortunate they don't all backport to the older versions, but we'll live with that.
Are you guys are you updating the Tumblr? Yeah. Are you like, how are you integrating it into what you guys are doing on the Tumblr or Android app? I mean, is the plan to go full material, or I don't know if you can answer that, but
yeah, well, actually, there was no way I could have ever planned this, but when I agreed to do this show like 5 or 6 weeks ago, this morning we pushed out our final material design update. There you go. So running on the new version of L, we have all the ripples, all the transitions, all the new everything that you could imagine. Nice. We're really happy with it.
How much fun was it to do
that?
Right
on.
It was a lot of fun. I didn't get to do a whole lot of it myself. I'm working on a different project, but the guys, I got to oversee a lot of the design implementations that they were working on. Cool. And the whole process, we have a lot of custom code in the Tumblr app, so sometimes it was pretty irritating to try and figure out, is this an L bug or is this a Tumblr bug? Huh. And it was usually like a 50-50 distribution of, was it our fault or was it their fault?
What project are you working on?
I don't know. I'll have to tell you.
I like asking the questions you're not supposed to ask. So what are you doing?
It'll be
Congratulations,
awesome.
though, on pushing the L update. That's awesome. I can't wait to see it. That's really great.
Yeah, it looks much better, and it's amazing how quickly that you feel your design gets outdated. And so I installed the previous version, and I'm like, oh, look at this ugly application. And we spent years on this thing. And
I guess the real advantage of it is that it's not like Tumblr has a lot of users, so it's really not that it's not going to get attacked, right? I mean, it's not like millions of people are waiting for this, right, and ready to pounce on any bug that happens.
Yeah, we definitely have people. We monitor the Play Store pretty intently. We have a full support team that looks at the Play Store and reads user comments, and we find as many bugs, and people leave all sorts of comments all the time. Yeah, we had some posting issue which we resolved, but it's been really fun, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I think I'm going to be really happy to see how all the other applications decide to incorporate it into their designs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Yeah, I can't even imagine doing something on that scale and that many. I mean, I'm being sarcastic, but yeah, for those who didn't pick up on it. But yeah, I mean, just like the massive amount of data that you guys are passing through, just the apps alone is onto that service has got to be amazing, and dealing with that feedback and keeping the users happy. But,
yeah, right.
Yeah, so. But
the fun part about working on a social networking app is that people use your own social network to complain about all the stuff that you do.
Because they know you're listening.
Mm-hmm. So you can just go to like the Tumblr Android app tag or something on Tumblr, and you just see people either posting screenshots like, oh man, look at the new Tumblr app, and other people say like, oh man, why did they waste all their time on this stupid design stuff? So it's fun.
Right on. Yeah, you see a lot of that on Google Plus too. Just like Google Plus people talking about Google Plus, of course. All right, let's do this. Let's talk about more apps in the arena. Yeah.
So many enter, but only one lives. Android Arena.
So yeah.
I think it's safe to say that the new poll was a success.
It was okay.
It was all right. Talking about users.
It was all right. I mean, so last week we tried Google Plus poll just to check it out and see.
It wasn't real time. That was really
disappointing. It wasn't real time, but we only got 2,343 votes compared to like normally 500. Jeez. So you know.
It's
It
a whole
actually
new
got a
ball
lot.
game.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
So a lot of participation through Google Plus. Yes, we are using this going forward, and I know that's not going to make some people happy, or rather, that's going to make some people unhappy.
Right. Yeah.
But a lot of people were really that had never voted before did because it's pretty darn easy. It just appears in your feed and it gets passed around, and that happens.
It's like a 5x increase, right?
Yeah, it's pretty
insane.
pretty impressive.
That's awesome.
So.
I guess there's not a way to
view
show
without
You gotta
voting.
vote. Click on off time. Click on off time.
Are you logged in? You might not be logged in.
Well, I'm on my Twitter account.
Wait,
So.
no, there is a way. Isn't there a way to see the results? I thought that was a see
go
results.
up to the upper
but-
corner, upper right-hand corner. Oh, that just makes it big.
That just
Sorry.
Nice picture.
There was something that
Upper-
made it flip around. I forget what.
No, I
Yeah,
think if you're not logged in, well,
I don't know. I guess I'll
upper
just have
right
to
of
pick
the
one.
post itself?
All of,
Like up further? Oh, no.
Ah,
View
there we are,
results.
view
There it
results.
is.
that should be down
There we go.
There we go. Frame Lapse wins with 40% of the vote.
Good job.
With 2,000 some odd voters, 43% of the vote. That's actually a lot of people.
40%. Good stuff.
40%. Second place, Off Time. Way to go, Ron.
29%.
With
Continue
29%.
to celebrate.
Clean Status Bar was performing well early on, and then it got overtaken.
We were neck and neck for a while.
Yeah.
Like it was right down to the wire, and then Gina ran with it, and then I honestly was surprised. I thought I was going to lose to Clean Status Bar. So
24% for Clean Status Bar and Skyscanner Hotels at 7%. So there we go. We're going to stick with this poll method for now. And yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I guess I'm the loser, so I'll go first. I'll make it kind of quick. Ron, I think you might like this one because it's pinball.
I saw that, except I don't like the property. So
Oh.
yeah, that's okay. though.
What a bummer.
Well,
Okay, so this is South Park Pinball. It's $3.99, and I don't know. I guess I'm a sucker for South Park, and you're not, obviously, because you don't like fun or something.
I do like. It's a long story.
Let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna go single player. You have two different games here, actually. So you have South Park. I'm gonna have to play this at an angle. You have South Park Pinball, and then you have Butters Pinball, and they're two completely different boards, obviously. I'll go ahead and go into South Park and show you this, and we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it because it's pinball on your tablet or your phone. You have all these different views, which kind of jump around. Some of them are subtle. Some of them follow the ball a little bit more, so you can kind of. Oops, sorry. So you can kind of choose which is your favorite. But it's super high speed action pinball, and I don't know. I enjoy playing pinball on a device sometimes. It's not quite as good as the real thing, but you can kind of trick yourself, and it's a lot of fun. You get all the sound effects from the show, which if you're a fan of South Park, you're going to like. The Butters one is pretty hilarious. It's kind of more of a subdued approach, which Butters kind of is, and they really kind of play it up there. But it's just, it's your straightforward kind of pinball game on a tablet or phone. And if you're a South Park fan, you're going to love it. It has all these different things that you can get caught in as well.
It's fun. I mean, playing pinball on tablets is actually, as a pinball player, it's a lot of us do it to practice, which is, kind of.
Are there pinball emulators for actual pinball games?
Well, no. Well, they're
like people that make like digital representations of actual pinball games?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're getting aside now, but there's a game called Pinball Arcade, which I have right here.
Oh,
which
right.
literally is ports of existing pinball machines, but through an app.
That's awesome.
And so, that's the thing. Like with the South Park, is like there is a South Park pinball machine,
but these aren't them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, but still, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you got your Butters one here. Okay. Sorry, it's really hard to play this sideways.
It's tough to get to use. I mean, I personally don't like pinball on devices because
there's a little bit of a lag sometimes. Like
there's always a little bit of a lag. And
you don't get that tactile shaking of the board and everything, but it's fun, There you go. South Park Pinball. If you're a South Park fan and you're a pinball fan, well, then it's a match made in heaven. $3.99 for two different boards, and I think it's great. There we go. All right, so that's South Park Pinball. Ron,
all right,
you're up next.
I am up. So a little bit for those of you watching the show live in the chat room before the show started, saw that I had to call an audible. because I had an app all lined up, and then the app was having some service issues, and so I wasn't gonna be able to demo it. So I'm gonna do that next week. But luckily, I had a backup, and a lot of people take video with their phones these days. I'm not one of them. I've never been a big fan of taking video, and part of the reason is because I can't stand when you see mobile phone video and it's the vertical rectangle and and it just drives me crazy when people do that. But found an app that is really kind of it's the no-brainer video taking app. It's called Horizon, and what it does, it allows you to always take a horizontally framed video. It's really kind of clever the way it works. There are 3 different modes here, and I can show you how it works. So it's one of these full screen apps. So it takes over your full screen, and you just tap the top. You just pull down at the top to get back to the menu bar. There it is. So so what you got? So you see, this is my viewfinder, and down here you can choose what mode. It uses the front and rear camera. So I could hit this button to change to the front camera. I'm not going to do that because we don't see my ugly mug. But down here is where you can change the mode. And so I can tap this, and there's a mode called Flex. And if you watch this as I move the phone, it always keeps a horizontal window that always keeps your video level and keeps it in that horizontal frame, right? And let's say that's a little too weird for you, but so you can change it, and you could change to rotate, and it will rotate as you rotate your phone and always keep this horizontal frame right there in the middle. So you're always taking horizontal video. Finally, there is locked. And what this does is no matter whether you're holding your phone horizontally or vertically, it will change and take horizontal video. So you've got 3 modes that help you take consistently horizontal and hopefully level videos to basically give you better videos that you're shooting. The flex mode, as you notice, will zoom and zoom out based off how much space you're doing within there. So that's kind of, like it goes a little smaller there because I've tilted my phone. That's the one that's kind of the most fun to play with because it makes it seem like you're on a steady cam almost for your video people,
Yeah,
like,
and it zooms in, zooms out. Yeah. It's kind of a smooth zoom. You can control the speed of that too, which is nice.
Exactly. So you've got flash control, so I can turn the flash on, turn the flash off. Here in the settings, you've got some great controls. You can basically, the camera resolution is based off the camera, so you just switch to the front camera or the back camera for the different resolutions. Video quality, you can change from high, medium, low if you're worried about that. You can say show advanced video info on the UI or not. You can adjust the orientation settings, so if you want to lock the orientation, have it be auto or always lock it as horizontal or vertical. You can adjust the zoom speed on that flex mode to be fast or slow. You can also change which motion center you're using, whether it's the gravity center or the accelerometer in the phone. So it's giving you a lot of control. This is the free version of the app, and that allows you to take 15 seconds of video with a watermark. But it's got an in-app purchase, $1 within the app. You can unlimited recording duration, no watermark video, future features, and also it gets rid of this message, which is funny. This message goes bye-bye. So all in all, here's the little tutorial. Basically just says it doesn't matter which way you're shooting, it will always give you horizontal video. So if you are looking to take more video with your phone, if you want it to be horizontal, then this Horizon might be the app for you because it's pretty cool. Again, free in the Google Play Store. Go download it and give it a shot, and you can see the video is kind of wacky, but it's actually pretty good because it shows how here in this beach scenario how he's able to manipulate his phone and just
puts it in his shoe and no big deal.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So there you go. So Horizon, free in the Google Play Store. Check it out. That's what I got.
How good is the videos that come out that actually are recorded? Can you tell that they're cropped?
A little bit. I mean,
it's digital zoom.
Exactly.
So you're gonna get a little bit of that fuzziness.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of the trade-off of that convenience, no-brainer fact of it just always staying horizontal. But there's a way to maximize the screen too. If you actually hold it horizontal, it's not going to be cropping really, and it'll look pretty good. But yeah, there is a little bit of that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, but I mean,
especially when it zooms in all the way, if you've got it on that particular mode.
And ultimately, your basis is how good your camera is and how good the resolution on your phone is, and that's your starting point. And then depending on how much flexing you're doing, there you go. You get a little bit of digital zoom going on there. So.
Whoa, are you using Horizon, Bryan?
Yeah.
Moving the camera around, man.
I mean, I wouldn't say, don't shoot a movie on it, but take
don't
a video,
shoot a motion picture with it.
Yeah, exactly. So
Very,
at least for
very
us amateur videographers, so there you go. So
cool stuff. All right, so that is Horizon. Now, Kevin, you are up next.
All right. So the app I brought to the arena this week is an app called Ping. And Ping is a really interesting application that has an extremely simple interface and just lets you get notifications about a variety of different things. I think it was developed at a hackathon at Secret, actually, by one of their Android developers there. And I think among the content of the application, I really like how simple the interface is. And I think it's a great demonstration of the fact that an Android interface doesn't have to look like the classic Android app that you think that it has to look like. And it can still be smooth and beautiful and intuitive, even though it doesn't have an action bar. It doesn't have these floating action buttons that we're all going to start assuming that every application should have. But so what I have a couple of pings here. I accidentally just dismissed one. But I have a ping here that I wanted to get daily fortune cookies. And so I have a fortune cookie that says, some Miles Kingston quote. But I think it's really nice. It's really fun. I like having it on my phone. It's one of those simple apps that I'll always install just because it's really fun to have.
My daily fortune cookie says, I see. So I just signed up for it. So it gives you a little notification that basically says, prepare for it. I was waiting for notifications. I installed this earlier and I was waiting for notifications to appear. So that's part of one of the things that you're not seeing in my showing off this app is that you do actually get notifications that appear just seemingly at random throughout the day that fall into these categories. And I don't have them here to show off, but you get your little list right here that you can kind of see of past kind of things that have fallen into those categories.
Yeah, so it's really cool. You get just popular secrets maybe from the Secret app or what's trending on Twitter right now, random thoughts, even apps worth downloading, and the best of Hacker News is a category on there right now. So it's just sort of a neat, fun way to get updated about things that are popular and things that are going on in real time.
All right, just signed up for the Hacker News one. Yeah, cool. So, super minimal design. It's funny, when this launched, you saw a lot of people firmly on one side of the fence or the other. It was either it's super minimal and beautiful because of that, or what the heck's going on here? I don't get it. You know what I mean? So why do you think design aficionados are taken so much by the simplicity of the app?
Well, I think one of the things worth noting, and something I like to talk about a lot, or at least remind people, is that when you think about a website, no one can agree on what a website is supposed to look like. There's no canonical, this is how you should design a website. Every website should look exactly like this. And to a certain extent, it's silly that we have this hard stance on Android applications and iPhone applications on how exactly they should look without deviating. And I think this is a great example of how you can have an effective and simply designed application that doesn't look anything like your mental model of what you think it should be. And its simplicity, and it doesn't give you a lot of settings. It doesn't give you a lot of options. And in a lot of ways, it doesn't even really tell you what it does. It's up to you to sort of explore and to figure out and wait and see. And I think that's what's fun about it. And I think that's something that we should all internalize and reflect on when we're looking at other applications that we're being critical of.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. All right, so that is Ping by the folks that brought you or bringing you Secret, the app/service that it's kind of a crazy service, but this is not really associated with Secret other than it was created by them. There is the category so that you can see just interesting secrets here and there, but it's pretty much removed from that. So that is Ping. Excellent. And finally, Gina, what you got?
I just want to say really quickly, I like Kevin's comparison to like how the web doesn't have a default theme, but mobile apps do. And it's funny. I mean, the web does kind of have a default theme, right? Like blue links and like the default, browser rendering of. But we're so far from that, right? Because it's so easy to customize. No one keeps their links like the default blue anymore. We just haven't gotten that far with mobile operating systems. All right, I won't get deep into a design conversation, but that kind of stuck with me. So I wanted to get that out. I guess Craigslist is still kind of default.
Mm-hmm. They've been
classic design.
Yeah.
Yeah, design, right? Like design free. It's a kind of design that's like, to some extent, Google, right? I mean, Google still has the blue links, although clearly they've got styles going on, but their styles that riff on the default. Anyway, okay, sorry.
So evolution of design.
Yeah. Okay, my arena pick this week is an app called Freedi. I think this is how you pronounce this. It's Freedi, so Freedi YouTube Player. This is basically just a YouTube player that offers a bunch of features and options that the default YouTube player does not offer. So you can listen to a playlist or a channel or watch a playlist or a channel continuously. You can set it on repeat. You can set a sleep timer and say, hey, play this until, this for this amount of time. The feature that caught my eye in particular was that you can play a playlist of videos in the background. So you don't actually have to have the video playing. You can just listen to the audio. And when you're doing that, if you're in the app and you start watching something, and then you just go out of the app, it'll show in your notification shade as playing, and from there you can pause and skip ahead. So it kind of treats YouTube videos just like any sort of kind of audio file that you've got playing in a regular audio app. I like that a lot because I know people, and I certainly do in our house with my toddler. We make playlists of YouTube videos, and sometimes we just want to listen to them. Or if there is a lecture or any sort of show, talk show, nice kind of thing that you just want to hear the audio. Nice feature to have that you can just kind of listen in the background. It doesn't ask for a whole lot of permissions. There are ads, which are, whatever. They're ads. And, not the prettiest player in the whole world, but certainly nice if you want to do one of those things. If you just want to repeat a playlist or loop continuously or listen to it in the background, a nice way to kind of to do that without having to deal with the default YouTube app. So that is Freedi YouTube Player.
Freedi.
Freedi.
For those listening. It's Freedi YouTube Player. And it does play in the background. That's pretty awesome. So many people use YouTube, as their music source anyways. So
which baffles me.
Well, and it's interesting, right?
Because we not made for it.
We keep hearing about a YouTube music service of some sort. Right. So this, I have to imagine, at some point is going to be a thing that YouTube will allow you to do if you're paying, whatever it happens to be, or if you're just all access, whatever it is. So we haven't heard anything official about that. So we'll see what happens there. All right. So if you want to vote for your favorite app from this week's arena, go to AAApoll.com/184, AAApoll.com/184, and place your vote. What was that? And yes,
we don't get real-time results, but how are we looking?
And by the way, I posted this week into the All About Android community page on Google+. So that's where the post exists. You can share from there if you want to share it. I will be sharing to my own personal account through there as well. So, but if you can't remember the URL, just go to the community page on Google+, and you'll find it. And yeah, we'll see. We don't get the real-time kind of updating, but right now it appears that that's Bryan.
There you go, Bryan. Good job.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would imagine because that isn't logged into Google+. That's why we're seeing Horizon. 44%.
Oh, Horizon's doing well. Horizon's pretty great. All of these are really great apps, actually.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah. We'll see where this goes. Cool. So vote. That is it for, awesome episode.
Packed
Lots of
episode.
stuff that we've discussed today. And Kevin Grant, really appreciate you joining us once again. We have to have you back sooner than this.
My pleasure. I love being on the show, and I love talking to you guys.
Right on. So tell people kind of what you're up to, where people can find your work. Obviously, you have a big update to Tumblr today for Android. Anything else people should know about?
Really, right now, I think my Tumblr and sort of my Twitter are the best places to see what I'm doing and what I'm working on. I don't have any real big side projects right now, and I think that right now I'm focusing all my energies on Tumblr. So if you haven't checked out Tumblr, at least you can do it for my sake and give it a run through. Tell me what you think. Maybe follow my blog. But yeah, I think that's where you can best see what I'm up to.
Awesome. It's kevinthebigapple.tumblr.com. I encourage you to check it out because you will be sucked into the vortex that is a wall of animated GIFs that you can't stop looking at because they just go on forever and ever. And Kevin has impeccable taste as far as animated GIFs is concerned. I seriously look. Yes, a connoisseur especially, and it shows. And it's a really good example of Tumblr just as a service of what it can do. And at Kevin Grant 5 on Twitter. Yes, that's just the beginning.
Yeah, that's
that Ripple one. That was tripping me out. I was looking at that earlier. I was like, that is really cool. Cool stuff. So check it out. Cool. Thanks once again, Kevin. We'll have you back soon.
Thanks.
Yeah, you bet. Gina, what's going on? What's up with ThinkUp?
What's up with you?
You know, most of the time I'm not here. I'm working on ThinkUp, thinkup.com. It's daily insights about you and your friends from Facebook and Twitter. You should try it out. Free trial, 14 days. Give it a go. Let me know what you think. I'm working on that pretty hard for a while. We got some cool stuff in the works for the holiday season. Nothing to announce right now, but stay tuned for that.
Nice.
When I'm not here or working on ThinkUp, I also co-host This Week in Google here on the Twit Network, and that show airs on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. And you should stop on by tomorrow and hang out with me and Leo and Jeff. Of course, you know, all the L stuff dropped Wednesday morning last week, so I talked about it on Twig, and then when I looked at the AAA rundown today, I was like, oh, right. It's like timing. But sometimes we talk about Android stuff there on Twig, so if you like this show, you probably like that one.
Excellent.
That's all I got.
Right on, Gina. Thank you. And Ron.
Very good. You can check out my daily musings over on Twitter or on Google Plus or on Instagram or wherever you like it. It's all at about.me/RonXO with my big old noggin.
Oh, there you are.
There I am. I need to update that. It's too late. But also by day, I'm over at imagecomics.com where we're making some of the best comic books in the world. You know, who needs Avengers and Superman and Batman, all that stuff? We've got new stuff. We got sci-fi. We've got horror. We've got drama, romance. It's fantastic. So go to imagecomics.com and get all your digital comics and stuff on Google Play as well and Comixology and all that fun stuff. So check it all out.
That ding, by the way, is ping.
Yeah.
The ding is ping.
The ding is ping.
Yeah.
There's your title. So, yeah.
Cool stuff, Ron. Bryan, what about you other than switching the show and showing your impressive spread?
Oh yes, this is the bridge for the show. When I'm not pushing the buttons back here, I do a little show called Know How with Padre. We're working on quadcopters now, and
that's nice. Bryan.
What are you looking at there?
Oh, sorry.
He's reacting to his position on your board. See?
Hey, wait a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh.
What is that up there? Oh, and there's Gina. I'm keeping my eye on you guys.
I like how you got Sundar at the ready, even though that nowhere in the show did we say we were going to quote Sundar.
You never know.
You never know.
Hey, guys, were you waiting for me?
See, that's all we needed to do.
Just hanging out.
Sundar's always waiting to be involved with the show. So
don't forget about me. I'm here too. Yeah, I've got all my toys here.
Oh,
yep. But yeah, anyway, Know How Thursdays.
Excellent.
You, Jason. You.
About.me/Jason Howell is where you can find me about. There. About.me/Jason Howell or yellowgoldmusic.com for my musical stuff. And then, of course, best of 2014 episode. Help me out. Hook a brother up. Go to twit.tv/bestof and let me know if there are any moments from today's episode or any episode in the past. The more details you give me, time code, that kind of stuff, the easier it is on me, and I won't cry myself to sleep at night. Also, I feel like there's something else. Oh, Android App Arena, another show I do, twit.tv/arena. And last week I reviewed alarm clocks. This week I'm working on an episode 2 basically called Faux Lollipop. So bringing some of the advanced features of Lollipop to devices before it. So it's not a material design episode. It's more like some of the extra special things you can do natively with Lollipop. How do you do those on earlier devices?
Is it like a sugar-free lollipop?
Kind of.
There you
Yeah,
go.
like a diet lollipop.
There you go.
There you go. But that is it for this week. Thank you so much for joining us once again. We always love having you guys on board and chat room. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming every week to watch and help us. Voicemail can be left at 347-SHOW-AAA. You can always send us an email at AAA@twit.tv. We are on Twitter. That's @AndroidShow. We are on Google+. Just search for All About Android, especially the community. That's where our poll is this week, so check it out. We're on Reddit, twit.aaa.reddit.com. And of course, we are on the web at twit.tv/AAA. Show notes, past episodes can be found there, YouTube and iTunes as well. And of course, you can catch the show live every Tuesday, 5 p.m. Pacific, live.twit.tv. That is it for this week's episode of All About Android. We'll see you next week.